Hi, my name is Annette Tarpley. I am the founder of the Passion of Poetry. Welcome to Pop Chat. And tonight, or at least this is tonight in the US, I have with us Eddy Foreman. Welcome, Eddy. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for letting me have me here.
And you are from the DC area, is that correct?
Yep, born and raised.
Born and raised in DC. That's a hopping place. It's a busy place. I live in Southwest Virginia. It's rather sedate here. You don't have all the traffic and stuff that you have in DC. But so welcome and so glad to have you. I just recently met. We met. I think you've been a member of the Passion of Poetry, but we met on a recent event, which I had to kind of impromptu host at the last minute because of some technical difficulties. But
And you
we
did a very
muddled
good
through.
job.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting, so we muddled through. So, to those who are watching, if you want to comment, that's great. But please remember that unless you have changed your settings where you can be identified, you are just a Facebook user. So, please sign your comments so we know who you are because we won't be able to tell until later when we look at the comments. So, so did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I sure did. I am stuffed. Oh, I'm full of food and fluff.
Yeah. I went to a friend of mine's who has a mansion in a kind of a bed and breakfast thing in Clifton Forge, and I was astonished at my lack of appetite. I just She had so much food, and I think my plate I only ate maybe a third of the food. So, and even dessert, I didn't eat much. So, I just texted her a little while ago. I said, I wish I would have brought back some pumpkin pie. I might have to make some pumpkin pie. I don't know. But so glad to have you here. So I want you to tell me a little bit about you, um, yourself, and your any kind of anything else you want to throw in there, any job, education, and then your poetry journey. So if you could do that, that would be great.
Thank you. Well, I've been doing for the past 10 years, doing rhymical poetry to show the 50 shades or 100 shades of me. You gotta love poetry. It builds bridges and it builds bonds.
Yeah, it does actually. So you live in DC. What do you do for a living in DC?
Basically, I'm a student. I'm actually a student. I actually trying to get my certifications in AWS, Amazon Web Service, so I can get a job and hopefully start a more brighter future.
Great. Is that like web design or what is that?
Basically, a AWS or working Amazon Web Service is a remote job that you work from home or remotely, that you get to use the applications and tools that Amazon offer you.
Nice, very nice. Well, that sounds great. So I know it's difficult being a student sometimes and then trying to find time to write. So we have a couple of comments. We have Christian here. Hi, Christian. Christian Romero Diaz, um, uh, my good friend and one of our admin on the Passion Poetry. Hey, Christian. Glad you could join us. And he was on not too terribly long ago, like a week or two ago. Whatever it's been, it seems like I'm sure it's not as been as long as it seems like. And then we have other wow, that's awesome, but we don't know who you are because you didn't sign it. So anyway, if you could sign your comments, that would be great. Glad that you join us, whoever is joining us out there. So one of the things that I want to ask you, I know you are a rhymer, and do all your poems rhyme?
Yes, I do. I push on through to inspire people like you.
Ah, you even talk in rhymes. So, so I know that you have a rhyming thing coming up, and I actually put that in the beginning. That you're, I guess, hosting kind of a, is it more of an educational thing on how to rhyme and so forth?
It's kind of like a work. It's a workshop. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm teaching how to rhyme. Basically, I created a 2-hour PowerPoint presentation of a brief history of rhyme, my motto, which is poetry equals freedom, and 10 poetry props giving to you by audio by poets that are in rhyming. So you don't have to rhyme, but it will save you some time because I want people to feel sublime when they use rhyme because it's just simply divine.
There you go. I had a friend who was big into literature. I think he was actually a what taught literature and so forth, and collegiate platforms. And he told me one time that rhyming is not in, it's not vogue anymore. And so I was like, I think that it should never be out, that poetry is poetry regardless of whether you rhyme or not. I mostly rhyme. There are times when I like to change it up and not rhyme, and so I will change it up so something doesn't rhyme intentionally, but I kind of go back and forth. So how do you feel about that, about the
Well,
rhyming?
Well, how I went up is when I first rhyme, a lot of people were saying rhymes are too stale, they're too old, they're not hip, they're not rad, they're not cool. I'm all like, but rhymes are
Yeah.
in everything. It's in songs, it's in your nursery rhymes, it's in every single thing. Dr. Seuss,
Songs, every song rhymes, every song rhymes.
exactly. They're still
Every
here.
Yeah. And songs are poetry and music. And I always tell people that when they say they don't like poetry, I say, when you like songs, and songs are poetry to music. So I think that people just don't realize, that it is. I think that, I've been on events before that have been like, web events where there are poets there, and they, do their thing. And I'm like the only rhymer. And then I had one guy one time just say how much he detested rhyming poetry. And I was like, I that's what I do. So, yeah, I didn't even know how to approach it. I was kind of like, well, I like the melodic sound of rhyming. So, why don't you go ahead and share a poem with us?
Oh, sure. I got four in store for an encore forevermore. I got one rhymes to simply make you feel sublime. This is called Crimson Arrow. It's tearing on my heart when I'm with you. But when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain. With or without you. I remember playing a game of drunken roulette. Oh boy, it's quite the shame. Left me a river of regret and debt. And know about that. This is about the lovers. I know you have with each other. I know you hit each other with bolts of thunder. But remember, accept and nurture one another. This will make your days more luckier and sunnier. Can't forget about the widowers. I know you miss him or her. Maybe feel their warmth or whispers. They want you to live and not suffer. Remember the frigid winters and warm summers. Keep them alive. You haven't lost your color. Don't stop the buffer. You haven't lost your luster. Can't forget about the singles. Trust me, I know love isn't easy. Sometimes too hard or too breezy. Sometimes your exes are two-faced and sleazy. Sometimes you can feel queasy and squeezy. Love yourself first. Easy peasy living squeezy. Love's not a word but an action. Love heals and deep, deep satisfaction. Love is a needy and greedy transaction. Love is an empathetic and sympathetic attraction. Love is a big addition, not a huge subtraction. Love is a soothing and calming fraction. Love is a real interaction, not a careless distraction.
Great.
Thank you.
That was great. So full of rhymes. I can't even. Wow. I don't think I've ever had so many rhymes in mine. So, how long have you been writing poetry?
For 2 years. How I got
Mhm.
into it is because when I was growing up, I couldn't understand or read anything, but for some reason, I could really understand Dr. Seuss. And I started reading all cat and hat, dog, god, doe, the places you'll
Oh,
go, yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, after that big pile of books, there was a little Shakespeare pamphlet, and it was the most beautifulest thing I ever read. And here I am.
there you go. There you go. So we have some other comments. Hello, guys. This is from Stuart Dan. Hey, Stu. Good to see you as always. Glad that you're here. And we have, can you give us a song? That was before you did that. So someone's already asking you. So, and then we have Pretty Cool as a Rule. I'm not a fool, never drool. Rhyme is my tool, sat upon my stool. Stewart, you gotta love you some stew, you know? He's
You
always,
sure do.
yeah,
Thank you,
Stewart
Stu.
always, whenever, I love when he pops in because he is always so amusing. You're so amusing, Stewart. Thank you for always amusing us. He has clever things to say, you know. And then we have good morning from, I don't know if Jill, I don't know if that's Jill. Not sure, but hello to everyone. Thanks for watching. So, do you have anything on your bucket list, just in life in general? Doesn't necessarily have to be about poetry or writing, but maybe your top three things that you have on your bucket list?
Well, my top three thing on my bucket list has to be I want to explore the world. I want to go to the specific places around the universe. Like I want to go to Japan, Thailand, Brazil, the UK, and just about anywhere. I want to explore,
Wow.
and I want to eat different parts of the
Yeah.
planet because how can you, I'm a foodie. I love food. I love to eat it, then cook it. I always tell people, food is culture, culture is food. To express someone's culture or to taste someone's culture is to taste their food.
Yeah, I was told I kind of do down home cooking, you know, and I was told by a woman once, she said, "You cook like a sister." And I said, "Oh, I guess that's good." You know, mashed potatoes, gravy, you know, and stuff like that. But so what kind of you say your specialty is in cooking?
Oh, my specialty is fried chicken, ribs, and cakes. I have this pina colada cake that will knock your socks off.
Really? I tell you what, I'll have a contest with you on the fried chicken part.
Oh,
And I
okay.
make the mashed potatoes and fried and then chicken gravy. I'll we'll have a contest on that one. So my kids always like, "Mom, you need to cook the fried chicken," which I haven't cooked in well over a year, maybe two at this point. But so you were mentioning traveling. It was interesting because the place I just stayed at, she has many guests from that come from all over, you know, not just the United States but the world. But they had she had some interesting guests, and um, one of the guests were a mother and daughter. The mother is like 92 years old, and they have this kind of van type thing, RV kind of thing, a little one that they're traveling, you know, through on, and they're going all over, and they just seem like they have so much fun. And then there's another couple there who she's actually a dentist. He's retired, I think, military. Excuse me, just a moment. He's retired military, and she used to. He. I said, "How did y'all meet?" They haven't been married for too long. They're kind of newlyweds. I said, "How'd y'all meet?" She said, "He used to be my patient." I said, "What'd you do you had your hand in his mouth and you say, 'What you got out of me?'" You know, you know, you know how the dentists always like put their hands in your mouth and ask you a question. And
Exactly.
but they're doing a lot of traveling too. They're from Norfolk, but they were just in Iceland like a week
Wow.
ago, and she had all these pictures of the northern lights. It was so cool. So yeah, it was neat.
Wow. Now
So that
that
was one thing on your bucket list. Now you got to tell me two more.
Sure, no problem. Another thing on my bucket list has to be hmm, traveling. Oh, also performing in different open mics, probably around the world, kind of like Brazil, Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand, and Japan, all over the world. Even if they don't understand what I'm saying, I know someone's going to translate for me.
Yeah, that would be. Do they have open mic events where you're from? Do they have like live open mic events?
They do, but I don't like going to them is because sometimes they're crowded and sometimes I don't feel inspired by the poetry. Usually it's about politics, which is politics is pretty good, but sometimes you want to take a break from politics. You just want something new. You
You mean their
understand?
poetry's on politics? I get tired of that really quick. So yeah,
Yes. Ugh.
yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't interest me. I'd be going, yeah, next page. So, okay, so that's another good thing on your bucket list. And a third thing?
A third thing is to meet all the people that perform online, just like you.
Oh, well, I'm going to try to somehow do a retreat this year. I
Oh
want
no.
a poetry retreat. I tried to do it last year and people backed out at the last minute and didn't work out. But if I can get people to honestly go, I want to rent a place. I don't think I'm going to be able to wing it all myself, like the whole thing, but I can get something fairly cheap that won't cost people that much. We can go for like 3 or 4 days for like a 3 or 4 day weekend and do a retreat. So I want to do that. Probably be in Virginia somewhere, maybe.
Oh, that's
But
a great idea.
yeah, but I want to do that. So maybe you can, be on the bandwagon. That'd be great. You're not
Oh,
too far away from me. You're only, I think, maybe 3 hours away, DC.
3 hours away. And if you do
Yeah.
invite me, I'm going to warn you, I'm going to cook up a storm.
You could be our chef too. If Christian came from, I don't know if he's still looking, but Christian is from Chile, and he like is an amazing chef. He does all kinds of like pastries and things that put like.
Mm,
Although he does some of the stuff very healthy, he uses healthy ways to do it, so it doesn't have the calories and so forth. But yeah, that would be great. And then we could have our fried chicken cook off.
yes, I can't wait.
Yeah. So we should really try to do that. I'm gonna try to do it. I want to do it my birthday weekend because I don't want to be alone on my birthday weekend. My birthday's July 8th. I think it's on a Saturday, and so why not do it on my birthday weekend? It's right after the 4th. We can, yeah,
Someone surprise you with a cake? Wink, wink.
that would be good actually. hmm Okay, so I want to read another poem,
Sure, no
and I'm
problem.
gonna do the floor. I forgot to do this last time.
All right. This other poem is a spicy pea to say the least. This is called Scarlet Oasis. Steamy clouds emit from the water as raw passion explodes from eternal love for each other. The deep scorching desires why igniting the texture of their flesh on fire. Deep breaths of moans and groans in the air, engulfing echoes of seductive affair. Quickly losing their sense of place in time while grinding between their naked behinds. Lips melting on flesh hotter than lava as their lust lock with lustful embrace, with everything is hot, scattered, and out of place. The burning stares between their eyes while coming closer, closer, closer to their blazing surprise. Their wet, hardened bodies trying to reach their solar lining while persistently combining. The blazing wind rushing throughout while a rampant volcano shouts. They dive deeper and deeper to put out their lustful flame, but their minds were consumed by a passion to unleash a new definition of satisfaction. The salty embers rain down their flesh while the jolts fuel their feisty mess. They danced nonstop to an inner instinctive tune while engulfing the blazing typhoon, their bodily melody of sublime taboo while their lustful flame quickly grew. Their juices sprang through the air while they remained animalistic and unaware, the lustful embers kindling their skin while they danced without a frigid end. The waves of earthquakes shake their wet bodies open while their souls transcend, quickly penetrating to subdue their inner raging beasts while thirsting higher for a majestic release. The bodies sending waves of earthquakes to keep their lustful desires awake. Their thirsty mouths hunger for more while they keep banging on each other's door. A bumpy rhythm of blazing echoes while pleasure comes in a billion crimson arrows. The roars of pleasurable screams while they taste the sweetness of each other's cream. The masses steam clear while their bodies are naked without fear. Their orange spotlight draws near while their energy disappears. Thank you.
Great, thank you. That was wonderful. I had
Thank
to
you.
go get
Thank
something to suck on because um I have a little bronchitis, so I cough easy, especially when I talk a lot. So in case I think Stuart's asked me before when I'm eating, and it's the Werther's, the caramel things, the little caramel things.
you. Mm-hmm. That's about caramel. I love caramel. I love
Um,
chocolate more.
well, the perfect combination is the chocolate and the caramel, right?
Yum.
But it's the Werther's original, just in case he's
Ooh, I
wondering.
love those.
Yeah, so this one's chewy. It has like a softness, so it's not just hard. So I'm going to go back up to comments. Yes, it is true. You're great, Stuart. It must. I don't know if it's Stuart telling himself he's great, but yeah, he's great. And thank you, English wit. Usually tits full of watching it while I sit. Annette, you are a saucy bit.
Please rhyme on through. Woo! Thank you for
You
making a
know,
wonderful breakthrough.
Stuart always says something about how I look. Thank you, Stuart, because I usually don't get it. Here we go. So, ha ha, fried chicken rules. It is Christian. Yeah, Christian can cook too. He actually, when he came on, he gave us a recipe about how
Oh,
to do
nice.
roasted potatoes. Yeah,
Yum.
and there you go. Take my hat off to you, Eddie. I ain't good at open mic. Somebody said that.
I bet you're a delight in every
Somebody.
open mic.
Then we have Bangladesh. Somebody from Bangladesh. Hey, hey, hey. You're talking about open mic. I dated a man for a while. He was a very, very nice man, but he liked to do the open mics, for singing. And he loved my poetry, so that was always a plus because it's hard to find somebody that can appreciate it. And the bad thing is we were on a date. We were driving home, and he started singing, and I was like paralyzed because it was so bad. Because he went whoa when he sang, and I thought I was gonna die. And then later on, he sent me a video of him at an open mic, and he dedicated the song to me. This is for you, Annette. And then he went up there and he sang this love song from the '70s. I'm very familiar with. I can't remember which one it is, but and then after the end of it, blew me a kiss, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm afraid it was that probably a little bit because I so wanted to say you're just embarrassing yourself, but I didn't want to do that to him because I knew it was his passion and he loved it. So I couldn't do that. And then we have Stuart saying, I'll talk to you all day on your birthday. Thank you. And then
Aw.
we have Christian saying, oh, I can give calories, dear Annette. This is Christian. Yeah, Christian, if you're going to cook for me, you can bypass any of the healthy things. If I'm going to eat it and it's going to be worth the calories, I want the calories. I'm just saying. Just give me the calories. Give me the real deal. You don't have to, you know, because if I'm going to eat it, and otherwise, if it's not good, it doesn't have the calories, it might not taste as good, and then I'm just not going to eat it because they're not worth any of my calories. I'm just saying. And Bard, Bard, not sure what that means, Stuart. You'll have to explain. Withers Originals Stew. I wonder if that's a UK thing. I don't even know where it's from. Ha ha ha. Oh, sing it is delicate. Sing it is a delicated art. Delected. What is that? It is delicated art. Why am I trying to mispronounce that? Anyway, you know, we don't know what you mean, Christian. It's lost in the translation, but we're okay with it. We love you anyway, Christian. It's all good. Uh, so, what do you think that we can do in the poetry community to promote more people to write? Maybe people who are just coming into the community and are new to it, and they don't know how to go about it.
Well, first is to come on open platform just like yours. Just show the world what you got. Keep doing it until you hit that spot because poetry is always hot.
Mhm. Mhm. But do you think people who are really new to the community and insecure about their poetry are going to want to come on something that is live and really expose themselves? Maybe not so much in the beginning, but yeah, we certainly encourage it. Encourage them to, I have open mics occasionally on my platform, so um, always. And then we got another comment from Stu. Was he have to home was a bit raunchy. Why I said
Oh,
bard. Bard means band from pop. What did you say? Did you say a cuss word in it?
No, I was going a little erotic, rhyming poetry.
Oh, see, I stepped away from my withers. Maybe I should have you repeat it. I'll have to watch it later on and see what it was. But yes, we bar things, and Stewart is our person who checks things next to Jill the most as far as approving posts or disapproving posts. And I can tell you that Stu has then is number one and not allowing posts to be posted. He declines a huge amount. Like a huge amount. I don't know what your ads do, like 500 in a month or 600 in a month. That's a lot. So
It's,
you have to get past Stu. Stu's pretty. He's kind of our cyber police almost. He kind of keeps it. Oh, what does it say? Oh, poetry rules too. It is Christian. Thank you, Christian.
thank you.
Christian has a lot of good poetry as well. So tomorrow, your great uncle dies and leaves you $1 million. No, let's say $4 million. What are you going to do with your money?
Well, first of all, I would give it to, I would donate to some really charitable causes. There's a charitable causes. Well, there's a few causes that are actually fixing water source in drought places around the United States. I'll go to them, and then at that, I'm going to send it to a donation that gives money to poor children that are victims of war. And I probably might just help give it to some homeless people in the community. And then after that, I probably might just save half, and then I just might travel the world.
I keep getting people to donate to my poetry cruise I want to do, to fund that. That's what I want to do someday. I just don't have the money to fund it. So,
It's
yeah.
it's,
So put
it's
that
okay.
on your bucket list if you win the lottery or something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're going on a cruise, the
It would be
poet
cool.
cruise.
Tasting each other's cream stew. I would allow that. Hmm. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to your poem later because apparently I missed out on the. I don't know. We are a little picky. If it's too suggestive, we kind of boom, you're out of there. I mean,
Oh no,
if
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Stu. I'm sorry.
that's
I should
okay.
have asked.
I usually try to write it and be very elusive, kind of dance around things a little bit. But some people write stuff that is um, a little bit more suggestive, and they still enjoy it, of course. But the thing is, this on Pop, we get notified from Facebook. They have removed something, and we get warned that they can shut us down. And this is true. We get warned that they can shut us down for allowing things that go against their guidelines or standards or whatever. But the bad thing is they take it off and they never let us know what it was that they banned. So it's guesswork. And that's why we're so conservative because we don't know what it is that they're objecting to. We just know they're objecting. We know that they object about suicide. Suicide is a big no no. So if you're going to write about suicide, don't put it on Pop. Um, but other than that, there's images too that, I know somebody who was banned on Facebook for allowing partial nudity on his thing for a year. He was banned for a year off of Facebook. So,
Wow.
yeah, so you have to be very careful. And there's some of us who have, including myself, who have been in Facebook jail before, where you post too much. Like I used to post like tons and tons and tons, like 50, 60 sites, boom, 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 boom. I don't do that anymore. Um, and if I do post at more sites, I do it in spurts because I think they have some kind of a thing in the background that's like
Like a bot.
that's monitoring it. It's like an electronic type thing that's monitoring it, and then they just kick you off. So, and it's happened to several poets. So you
Hmm.
have to be really careful when you post so you don't overpost, at least like all in one sitting. You kind of want to, just a little word for the wisdom to those who are posting. Don't bombard the place with it because they'll think you're spam. They think it's spam, and then they shut you down. So, but so is there any poet that you have that you really like a lot or like to emulate or that you have great respect for?
It has to be two poets. I think you already heard of them. The first one is Dr. Seuss, and the second one Shakespeare. Woo!
Yeah, Shakespeare. Well, Shakespeare's pretty deep though, and I think I find him a little bit intimidating, actually, Shakespeare, because I think not all he speaks a little bit in riddles for me. So I don't always know what he's talking about for sure. So maybe that's just because I'm lacking in that intellect. I don't know. I do know though, my second book, Two Hearts, that I co-wrote with Sarfraz Ahmad, we went to number one on Amazon and we edged out Shakespeare. Thank you very much. We edged him out of the one spot. I know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, conversation that interests somebody wrote, and we have correction, tasting each other's cream, given poem I would allow, and I think I'm over. He says he's over 600 declines this month. He is, and I tend to decline too. I know that you decline so much you don't write notes. Usually, when I decline Stuart, or I boot somebody off the thing, off the site, and many times it's without any notice. I just boot them. So I usually make notes, and I don't think he probably needs notes because he is our number one of our number one people that uh, really, really approves a lot or disapproves, disapproves too. He might disapprove some of mine. If mine didn't get posted, right away because I'm an admin, I wonder if Stuart would decline mine. I don't know. He might. Might decline them.
Mystery.
So is there anyone else in your family that writes?
No, just me. If it
Just
makes
you? And
just
how
me.
does your family feel, how does your family feel about your writing? Are they supportive?
Well, my mom was a supporter when I was in fifth or sixth grade when I wrote my first poem. Basically the poem is about a butterfly and how much I want to fly over butterflies, and it's somewhere around here. But if when I discover it, I'll send you a copy.
That would be great. That would be great. So, Stuart already corrected us on the declines. So, Stuart, I just want to publicly actually give you accolades for all that you do for Pop. Poor
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart.
I am monitoring it so that we can all share. I'm trying to pitch in more myself. I'm really behind the scenes doing a lot. I have been busy until the time that we signed on just now. I've been busy with pop stuff since 2:30 this afternoon. I'm going to have a website that's going to be up soon that I've paid a lot of money for because two people dropped the ball. But it's going to be, I finally got somebody in New York City who is a web designer, and it's going to be a place where we publish poets. It won't be a place where you can just publish to. It's going to be a place where admin publish you to the place. So it's going to be kind of a reward system, and it's going to be selected. Poems will be selected to be posted to the website. It's called Popstar Poetry. It's going to be popstarpoetry.com whenever it comes up, but it's not there yet. We just got the domain, my third domain for the same thing that I've had to pay for. So my third domain that I have gotten, it's cost me a pretty penny. I probably could have bought a cheap car for what I'm doing, but hopefully we'll be able to push poets to the site soon. I think once I get things to him that he needs, it's going to be just a couple of weeks. I'm hoping that the site will be up. So, but I've been working on that. I was working on a lot of pop star um, stuff because I have 5 guests, including you this weekend. And so I worked on a lot of the graphics. And so I've been busy from, well, 5 hours, about 5 hours. Well, still busy, right? Doing it. So
Right.
Stu, that's why I haven't been helping you out so much. But I did do maybe about 10 I did approve about 10, Stuart. I just want you to know that. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I did. So hopefully we'll be doing that soon. So I think a lot of us find that um, not all of us, but a lot of us find that our families not always supported it, don't have the same passion that we do, about our poetry, and a lot of times even friends or. So I think it's kind of a common theme. Excuse me, that people don't always share our passion, but that's okay. That's why we have each other, right? In the poetry
Exactly.
community, to encourage each other and so forth and so on. So let me find another question for you. Um, I ask this one every once in a while. So if you could be a superhero and possess a superhero power, what power would you want to possess?
Teleportation. Go save me some gas.
Is that the one they run really fast? Is that what that is? What is that?
That's the
What is
one
it?
that you just like pew. I can teleport where you. I can travel where you are in an instant. Kind of like
Oh, okay.
Nightcrawler.
Okay. So you just like show up somewhere, you pop, bam, you're there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you could travel all over the world and do all kinds of stuff. That would be good, right? But
Right.
what did you call it? What did you call it?
Teleportation.
Teleportation. Teleportation. I got it now. Sorry, I'm older, Eddie. I don't catch on with things like some people do. So let's see. We have other comments. Ha ha. This is Christian Cruises Rule 2. and Stu says he was kicked out of Pop for being naughty, costume apology, and open mic. I remember that, Stu. I think I reprimanded you personally. I took you aside and said, "Hey, Stu, you know." I think he's right. There's times when if it's like a poet that I'm quite familiar with, that I'll just take him aside. Or sometimes people who write in different languages, and during the translation, it'll translate into a cuss word that wasn't there in the original translation, but when it translates to English, it's a cuss word. So that occasionally happens. Yes, revenge. I would decline regardless. Hmm. And bless you. Is good of you. Thank you. Yeah, I did a whole 10, Stu. Yeah, I really helped you out. And we have cheers for Annette, hip hip Annette. Oh,
Hip hip
look at my
Annette.
peeps up there.
Woo!
I pay these people to say these things to give me accolades. They're paid participants. I slide them money later. Yeah, not really true, but it sounds good. So let's see. Why don't you do another poem for us? Because you came
Sure, no
armed
problem.
with four, and you've done two. Take it away.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this platform forevermore. Thank you for making me do another encore. Woo! This is called Knock Knock. Knock knock. Who, what, when, where? Knock knock. Who's there? Knock knock. Should I care? Knock knock. Do I dare? Knock knock. Dang it, the sun's glare. Knock knock. Yes, I can hear. I'm aware. Knock knock. I do nothing, I swear. Knock knock. I don't need a prayer. Knock knock. My house doesn't need repair. Knock knock. I don't need cookware. Knock knock. I don't need another armchair. Knock knock. I'm losing my hair. Knock knock. Don't have money to spare. Knock knock. I know life isn't fair. Knock knock. Oh my god, I'm in a nightmare. Knock knock. Are you a grizzly bear? Knock knock. I'm only in my underwear. Knock knock. Pretty please be air. Knock knock. I have nothing to share. Knock knock. This is a daycare. Knock knock. Yes, I'm here. Are you still there? Thank you.
I'm here. I was looking for something because your poetry reminds me of limericks are very and I only wrote a limerick one time, and probably if I put in here limerick, I'm not going to be able to find it. I was trying to remember. Um, there was a key word in it that I kept using, and I was trying to remember the name of it. It's just a short little ditty. It's the only time I ever did one. But I was trying to think of what it was that I wrote, because I think she got a husband in the end, and so I'm sitting here trying to see if I can. For some reason, I thought it would be amusing, but I can't find it. So, um, there was a certain word that I used over and over again. I just can't remember it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, if here, I'll ask you this question. So, what is the meaning of life?
Well, the meaning of life is never take it for granted, and always, 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 okay, always, do whatever makes you feel happy. Your happiness comes first. So please, please, please spend life until it's what it's worth. Love,
Yeah.
live life until it hurts.
Live life until it hurts. So I'm still trying to find this. It's driving me crazy, because I can't remember the thing of it. Yeah, it was so catchy. Anyway, I just need to give that up. You have a you have a cozy little finger wraps me too easy. Yeah, yeah, I've got you wrapped around my finger. And very good indeed. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Stu.
So,
You know what you do.
Stew, you gotta love you some stew. One of these days you're coming to the United States, Stu. When you do, I need to meet you. Just saying. That almost rhymed, didn't it? When you come
It
to
sure
the
did.
United States, Stu, need to meet you. Yeah. So poet didn't know it, kind of thing. Um,
And I appreciate what you do.
is there any kind of poem that you really remember from your youth?
There. Wow. There's a book I wrote all my poems in a little book, but it's all the way in the back. So if I find them, I'll send them to you. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
wrote a lot.
That's
You know,
okay.
when you're a kid, you just want to just scrabble, scrabble,
Yeah.
scrabble,
Well,
scrabble.
you said you didn't really, but you did write as a child. But you didn't really, I guess, maybe start writing prolifically until a couple of years ago. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good stress release, isn't it?
It
I
is.
always tell people you got to keep this and this, busy, and then it keeps you out of trouble. So I think it's very important to keep those things busy. So if you could describe Eddy Foreman to me, how do you think someone else would describe you?
Hopefully, a very down to earth guy that loves to rhyme all the time.
Do you speak in rhymes like to your family?
No, not really. I do speak it to my poet friends and open mics because they're always such a delight in every spotlight.
Ah, so because you have a little quip that you do about your uh like Ed Potastic, don't you have a little quip to that, like a rhyming thing that you do?
Oh, of course. The reason why my name is Ed Potastic because I want everyone to feel fantastic because everyone deserves to be enthusiastic and their words are such bombastic.
You just came with that off the cuff. You
And
just
also,
came up with that, just boom boom, right?
yeah, came with that out of my hat. But I also have a podcast episode that I was on that explains a big, huge understanding of why I rhyme. And actually, I wrote a rhyming poetry about my childhood. And after the show, I'll share it with you.
Um. Okay, gotcha. Does that mean that it's not it's not meant for consumption here? What does that
No,
mean?
it is, but it's kind of. I mean, if you want to hear it, I'll tell it to you.
Is it risque?
No, not really. It's more of a the grass is greener on the other side. Um,
Oh,
because my the person who which is Finn Bell, aka Trisha, when she was doing the podcast episode, she cried in tears of joy.
she cried in tears of joy because of what?
The reason why she cried tears of joy because it was so deep.
It was so deep that it made her cry.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's pretty deep. So you did three for us. You want to do a fourth one?
Sure,
You do
I
your
do a fourth
fourth
one.
one?
I sure
Yeah.
do.
All right. I'm going to switch it over to you.
Thank you, and thank you. This is called Bare Naked Truth. We're exposed poets. We stand naked every day. Oh, come on, you know it. One shades any day. You know it, no denying it. Our emotion on full display. You have to quickly admit we all write bare essays. Our words can really hit, flush out inner gray. Yes, we're naked. Don't quit. Shine your golden ray. I know some feel sick. Show the world the way. Hope it can really click. Chip away the hardened clay. Keep crushing those bricks. Help whoever going astray. Perform those emotional tricks. Make the inner trauma delay. Give a backbone for those pricks. Make the thunderstorms decay. Change or form the skeptics. Acceptance. No more betrays. Support that man or chick. A shock of the cause to obey. Make your personalized stick. Give advice in life disarrays. Remove those small annoying ticks. Bare naked insight you betray. You're naked. Everything's okay. Thank you.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Woo-hoo.
I'm just missing the button here. So let's see. Very good indeed, Eddie. Okay. There you go. Thank you, Stu. Um, Stu has a girlfriend that lives actually not too far from me in a neighboring. She lives in West Virginia, so she's not too far away from here. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
um,
Small road.
yeah. I'm still, it still bothers me because I'm just trying to figure out what that poem was, and I can't find it. It was so interesting, but apparently not that interesting. You're probably the only one that could be on here where I could actually um, recite this poem, and I can't find it. So the interesting part about this is apparently I've written so much stuff that I can't even find it. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Well, there you go. Still can't find it. It was amusing, and that's what I wanted. It was a little risque, and no, I have written that many things. I can't find it, so it just doesn't matter. I just need to give it up. I'm giving it up. It's gone. You know, you obsess over something, and then it just bothers you. That's
Yep,
what
I've
I'm.
been there
Okay,
before.
so what do we have? Eddie and Annette on Pop Chat talking about this and that, full of smiles and beguiles. Listen to
Hmm,
him, Stu. I don't know if you've ever. That I don't know who that was talking though. It doesn't say Stu. So thank you for that.
thank you.
So, if there's any kind of advice that you could give to a poet, what advice would it be? I know you kind of did some earlier, but they've come to you and they said, "Hey, what am I going to do? I want to write. I don't know how to write. Teach me how to write." What would you say to them?
The thing I would say to them is keep on writing, don't listen to the haters, and put yourself out there. And if you're there, if you have tons of word to share, they will care.
Yeah. So, have you ever encountered that where you have a hater and you
All the
know?
time. Well, yeah, some open mics they're a little bit. Your rhymes are boring. Rhymes are mediocre. Rhymes are this. Rhymes are blah blah blah. You should stop rhyming. And I was all like, okay,
So, somebody told you that on the open mic?
yeah, one time, and I was all like,
You know, this is. I'm going to read this real quick. This is just something. This is about the critics. So this is a critical eye. So when people, do stuff to me, I just write. So it's the critical eye. I would like to read your poem to critique. Is it filled with riddles muddled in mystique? Is the content clear for the reader to understand, or is it foreign and opaque, far less than grand? Does it make sense only to you, one of a kind? Is its message mysterious, the meaning hard to find? Is your poem free flowing, lacking a lyrical flow? Will the readers appreciate what you may know? When you critique others' works, do you look at your own? Is your own work perfect? Are there things that you need to hone? Is Do you look at your work with a critical eye? Do you mull over your own, or do you write off the fly? Does it make you feel good to publicly humiliate? It can be perceived as aggressive with a tinge of hate. We all are unique. We have our own styles. Hang up your critical hat. Relax for a while.
That was beautiful.
Oh, well, this is a response to a hater, I'm sure. So it is what it is. But well, I really thank you for coming tonight. We have one good Ed. Congratulations,
Ooh,
Christian. Thank you, Christian, and
thank you.
thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Eddy Foreman. It's been a pleasure to have you, the rhymer. You are a rhyming kind of guy. I don't know why. You seem kind of shy, but you're not that kind of guy. So yeah, there you go. Not so good at the off the cuff rhyming like you are, but
It was
bravo,
really
Annette rules too. Yeah, 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 whatever. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Eddy. It has been a pleasure to have you. And keep writing and keep doing what you're doing. Keep
thank
writing.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been
Do
a
what
pleasure on a
makes you
higher
happy.
measure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's time to go. So I don't even know what to say. I can't even rhyme right now. So, um, um, yeah, I can't even do it.
You didn't know what to
It's
say,
been
but
so
you made my
good.
day.
It's been so good. I knew you could. I knew you would. I knew you should. And um, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Don't be
So,
too
thank
misunderstood.
thank you, Eddy. It's been wonderful. You take care, and thanks everyone for watching Pop Chat. Take care. I've got like 5 more episodes. No, 4 more episodes this weekend. So woohoo! Or three. I don't
Woo!
know. Anyway, take care, Eddy. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
You too.